Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a review on another watercolor palette. The other day I did do the review, or the first impression review, on the portable painter, which you can still get for $23 until the end of the year. After December 31st it is going to go up to $30 on the website. So you can go to portablepainter.com and find it there if you're still interested in getting this set up. And somebody had a good idea also and told me, and I don't know why I didn't think of this myself, that the pans here, I could have just removed the pans and then put the paint right down inside the palette. And I think after these start to empty, that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll just use the half pans for something else. But yeah, they're still loose. So I think that's what I will do after that's empty. So if you are interested in this palette, and for those of you who have not seen my first impressions review, it was my previous video, and you can go on to my channel page and see it there. But the setup is very simple. You just put these cups on and then fill them with water. This will stand on uneven ground. It will stand on tall grass. It will also balance on your knee. Your knee goes right in between it, and it just sits there and it won't tip over. It's a good little setup, and I'm really pleased with it. I really like it. So today I'm going to do the comparison to this Winsor Newton Professional Watercolor Palette. Now this watercolor palette goes, because it has the professional watercolors, it goes for $115 on the Dick Blick website. And on Amazon, on Prime in the US right now, you can get it for $81.29. And if you like the Cotman paints, you can get it for $35. But I'm not a fan of Cotman watercolor pans. I find them very hard to reconstitute, and I find their pigment lacking. So I don't use it. But I wanted to get more of their professional colors, so that's why I went with this one. Already I had a problem, and one of my hinges came apart, but I was able to fix it. Now this palette runs a little thicker. It's going to be a little harder to carry in your pocket than the portable painter. When I take this portable painter down and break it apart, it is only an inch thick, and it is 5.5 by 3 inches wide. This is just slightly longer by about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/2 inch. Nah, if you count the hinges there. But look at the difference in the width of these two. This one is lighter weight also. This one, though, holds water right in the palette. I'm not sure quite how much it holds, though, so we're going to see. It comes with its own little cup, and when you open it up, if this doesn't pop open for you, the first time it kind of stuck on me. I had to use my brush and flip it up like that. So I was able to just push down and flip this open. And it comes with its own little travel brush. This travel brush is much smaller than the brush that I got with this portable painter set. This one has a double-sided brush, and the one side is much larger. As you can see, excuse the marker on my hand, I would say this is either a 5 or a 6, maybe size 6. And then on the other side, I'd say this is probably about a 3, and I think that would probably match this one. Yeah, they're about the same. This one's just slightly longer than this one. So there's the difference on that for you. Then this has the ring that you can hold it in your hand, but as far as balancing it on uneven grass and that kind of thing, I think you're going to have a little more trouble. It opens like this, and then the water container is right here. You take this water pan, it's got a little divot on the side here that goes right along this little hinge. If I can get it on. And it goes on very easily. It sits above the paints. It's not flush with the paints like this other set is. But then you can lay it down. If it went below, you wouldn't be able to lay it down on a flat surface. Now, I already filled this with water. This already came off. I've already filled this with water ahead of time when I had to fix that hinge. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the water in and see, oops, all right, see how much we get here. This container, filled to the top, fills this just under halfway, I think, or maybe halfway. So you've got water, let's see, up, oh gosh, not even halfway, that's deceiving. If I can shine a light right on this, I don't know. Let me see here if I can move over and shine a light on here. In fact, I'm going to put a ruler down in here, it'll be easier. Goes right to half an inch. No, little, was that half an inch? Yes, half an inch. So this container fills this with a ½ inch of water, which isn't a whole heck of a lot of water. So I would be carrying my own water with me. Already, I'm not happy with that little portion, but the fact that it carries water at all is a nice thing. And then you can use this as its own mixing area right there on the water container, as well as here and here. So you have 3 mixing surfaces. On this, you have a lot of surface area. You've got 3 large mixing areas, which are actually larger than the mixing areas on here. And then you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 small mixing areas on the other side, which is also very nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unwrap my watercolors and get them set up, and then we can get started. Trouble getting those out of there, and I see that they gave me a black and a white in the professional set, which is really kind of a bummer. I don't want black and white, so I'm going to probably take these out and leave them out, and then I will put my own colors in. But that kind of bums me out. When you pay $82 for a set of watercolors, 12 watercolors, which is absolutely insane, I will probably just put some Daniel Smith watercolors in these instead, because I don't use black and white. I mean, hardly. I've only used black and white once, and that was on that set that I had reviewed. Which set was it? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, the White Knights. Their black was really, really awesome. Very highly pigmented. Okay, and this is, I think that was Burnt Umber, it looks like. I'm not even looking at what I have here. Oh, that's Burnt Sienna? Wow. It looks so dark for Burnt Sienna. I'm so used to the Daniel Smith watercolors and even some other ones. Their Burnt Siennas are much redder, but Winsor & Newton has very different colors. They use a lot of Winsor colors, which are their own makeup and everything. I don't know if this one says what the pigment is on here. I think it should. No, it doesn't. Probably said it on the label, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and unwrap the rest of these, and then I'll do a color swatch test, and we'll go on from there. I finally got those unwrapped. Holy smokes, that was a lot of work. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my water cup back on here, and I'm going to just give these a spray of water so that they can kind of reconstitute a little bit here. Soften up. I'm going to dip my sponge in here. It's always good when you're using a sponge for wiping off on to have it a little bit damp so that it will absorb what's on your brush. If it's dry, it just isn't gonna work. So I always get my sponge wet. This sponge can be used for multiple purposes. You can use it for texture on your paintings, or you can use it to wipe your brush off on. And I'm gonna do something else here. In order to test my white out, I'm gonna take some of my color here, a very dark indigo, and I'm just gonna leave this to let it dry over on the corner so that we can try this white out. Now, another thing that I don't like about this palette right off the bat is that it gave me both yellow ochre and raw sienna. They have slightly different hues to them, but raw sienna is transparent normally and yellow ochre is semi-transparent. And I usually use one or the other. I hardly ever use both. And I would not set up a palette of 12 colors with that color. I would add something different. I also would not have had black and white in here. And it kind of is upsetting to me that when you spend that much on a set of 12 professional colors in this small an amount, in half pans, that they don't even give you other colors besides black and white. A Payne's gray would have been nice. Maybe an indigo blue or a purple or something like that, some secondary color. And then they gave me, I think they gave me alizarin crimson. I don't know if you all are available, oh my gosh. I don't know if you all are aware, but alizarin crimson has very poor light fast quality. So I never use alizarin crimson in paintings. Sometimes I'll use permanent alizarin crimson, but even then I usually do not. I'll use magenta, I'll use pyrrole red, I'll use quinacridone reds, I'll use other reds instead of that, only because it is not light fast. So they gave me a non-light fast color. That's a problem. I mean, there's so many issues that. Okay, there's the alizarin crimson. The next one is, what is that? Winsor red. I think Winsor red is like a cadmium, but I'm not sure. Very highly pigmented. Alizarin crimson doesn't seem to be as pigmented, but maybe I just didn't get enough on my brush. No, it's still not. It is transparent. This one does not look transparent. Actually, let me get some pen out here and I will lay it down so that we can check it out and see just how transparent these colors are. Let me put some lines out here. I'm using a very skinny pen and it's running out of ink, so okay, I'm going to do that again. We'll start with the alizarin. Do I have everything in frame? Yes. You can see just how transparent that is. Cadmiums are not transparent. Yellow ochre is usually semi-transparent. Burnt umber is not transparent. Did I say cadmiums? Cadmiums are not transparent. That's what I'm thinking. This red looks like a cadmium red. So let's see. Well, maybe not. We will see. Okay, this next one is Winsor Yellow, and I've got a little red on it. Let me do that one again. Try to get the red off of this here. There we go. The brush I'm using here is just a cheap brush that I bought online, a set of 10 or 12 brushes for a few dollars. It just says Royal Taklon. Okay, that's the true color. The Winsor Yellow is very transparent, very nice. And then this one is Winsor, or I'm sorry, not Winsor. This one is called, I think, Lemon Yellow. If I can find it. All right, let me get the box and see if it's on the box. Perfect. They don't have the colors listed on the box. So there was a pamphlet that came with it I'll have to find, but I believe this is Lemon Yellow. It looks very milky to me. And it's transparent, which is surprising. Where the heck did that go? Is it? Yes, here we go. It is. I got the whole darn set here. That's not going to help me either. I'll have to look it up if it's not that. Okay, now this one in the second row is Raw Sienna. It should be transparent. Okay, so that one, Raw Sienna, is very transparent. This next one is Sap Green. Yes, Permanent Sap Green, which is also transparent. I'd say that this Winsor Red is semi-transparent. There's a little bit of cloudiness underneath it. The next one is either, I don't know if that's French Ultramarine or if this next one is Winsor Blue Green shade, which would be Phthalo Blue. We'll see which is which when I look at it. It's Ultramarine. I'm not thrilled with the level of pigmentation in these colors. I'm just, oh, I guess it's better now. It's one thing with these Winsor Newton pans, they're so hard. Okay, and then there's the Phthalo Blue or Winsor Blue Green shade, which is also transparent. Then we have the top, the next column, I'm going to go with my white, and I'm going to put that, I'll put it in both places. I'm going to put it over this. Oops, it's got a little more blue on it. I can't get rid of this phthalo on this brush. Most often you want your whites to be opaque just because they never are dark enough or strong enough pigment. So, and it's not, I'd say it's semi-transparent. Now I'm going to run it over, I'm going to get as much as I can on here and run it over this indigo. And you can see how little even the professional color does the white. I mean, you could use it, like, I guess, to tone some colors down if you want, but I never use white, so it's not something I'd really want in my palette. This is the black. Whoops, I got that too close to the white here. Let me do that again. The black also looks transparent. I don't know if you can tell, but I can see the lines through the black, but I do not like this black. I like the White Nights black much better. This has a brownish hue to it, and I don't like that. Now here we have Burnt Sienna. Which is also transparent. Most professional colors they'll give you are, and yellow ochre should be either semi-transparent or opaque. And it's transparent. Now you see how close those are in color? I mean, why have them both? I'm going to put the raw sienna next to the yellow ochre here. Maybe I've got those mixed up. No, that's definitely raw sienna. I think. I have to take them apart to look. I almost put the wrong color down on top of it. I had to think about it for a second. They're very similar in color. So, the yellow ochre and then raw sienna. So that's all of them. The only one that I'm getting semi-transparency with is the Winsor red. And other than that, everything else is transparent. The black, it's hard to tell. So let me go ahead and see what that other color was, and then we'll get started on a painting. This color is I'm sorry, I was looking at another one. This one is lemon yellow. And this one over here is raw sienna. So this was raw sienna, and that one was yellow ochre. I did have that backwards there. So this is the raw sienna, which is more transparent than that one. Do a painting. And I will use only this with the water and everything. Okay, so I'm already changing my mind and putting, oops, I grabbed the wrong one. Putting, taking out my black and my white and switching it over to a Payne's Gray, which right now is a Cotman color, although their Payne's Gray in Cotman is really good. So if you want to save money on Payne's Gray, if you like to use Payne's Gray, some people mix their own with ultramarine and burnt sienna, which is absolutely fine. If I'm mixing on the paper, that's how I do it, because it adds some real variegation of color. But for now, I'm just putting this Payne's Gray in here in this empty tray or pan, and I took my black out, and then I also grabbed a violet of some sort. I think this was some sort of a blue violet, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. As far as these palettes go, I don't care for this as much. I thought that I was going to think it was the bomb, but now that I've gotten a taste of this portable painter, and I'm not saying this because this guy gave it to me for review, this thing is so much nicer. It holds about 10 times the amount of water, which is still not even close to, maybe a, you know, to fill these would be a quarter of a bottle of water or something. But for the painting that I'm doing, I will not use the Payne's Gray or the purple. I will use the black and the white if I need them, and I'll use these other colors. So I will stay away from those. And I will find a photo and we will get started painting. I guess they're coming here because my dogs are like growling now. here just in painting, showing you that portable painter, and I said how sturdy these things are. I went to wipe this one off and I held on to it so that I wouldn't over stress these hinges, and these bend. Look at how easy this bends. See how that just bends right up? I'm bending the edge right up. This does not do that. I have to put a ton of pressure on it to get it to bend up. These are very flimsy. They're a fraction of the thickness as the portable painter. So I just wanted to point that out while I'm painting. And I'm just going to continue on now. Impression on this is not the greatest, and it's had mixed reviews on Amazon and elsewhere on the internet, but I thought I'd give it a shot, and I don't hate it. I like it above some of the other palettes I have, but I feel like this plastic is too flimsy for mixing. If I want to mix a color, I feel like, see, I feel like I'm going to tip my whole palette if I press on this much. The other thing is the way that these pans move back and forth. They have so much play in them. Let me get a different brush here. Like, and I wanted to get the alizarin crimson. I mean, look at how much play there is. There's like so much play in each of these. And I probably need to add another half pan in there in order to get it to sit still. The sponge is holding them still over here, but not on this end. So I suppose I could get a bigger sponge. But I don't like the play with the pans. They're all over the place, and I'm having trouble picking up color. The black and the white is a must-go. I will never use them. So I put in Payne's Gray and a violet. This water is deep brown, muddy water. I don't have anything that, maybe I do this. Oh, here, I can show you on this white dish just how that little bitty bit of water, one little painting, look at how muddy my water is. That makes it really hard to mix good colors if you can't get your brush clean. I have to change my water very often in this little pan. Now, granted, I'd carry a water bottle with me, and I would use more water with each load in the pan, and I would change it more often. But I wanted to try to stick with just what they give you. And this little white thing does not carry enough water. It just doesn't. I would have rather had a water bottle that attached to the outside, I think. it slides around on a surface when you're using it also. It doesn't sit still. Unlike this one, it will slide some, but my colors or my mixing areas are tough enough, and once I put water in here, it stabilizes this. I'm not super pleased with this. Oh, the other thing was I never used the brush that came with it. Where the heck did it go? Well, I've already lost it, so let me find it. Okay, I've got that brush now, and I'm going to use it a little bit on my trees. I have to use the swatter over here, but let me just get... This brush is not a bad brush. I mean, it'd be good to have in there as an extra for fine work, but as far as, I mean, it works just fine. You couldn't paint a painting with this. This would be for finishing work, definitely. But it's a nice brush. It's got good spring to it. I don't see any problems with it. It's thinner than the other one that I had, and I'm not sure if this brush is supposed to be sable. Maybe it is. For this price that I paid for this, it should be. 1 plastic box with integral palette, water pot, and thumb ring, 1 water carrier, 12 half pans, 1 sponge, 1 brush. The fact that they just say 1 brush makes me think that it's just a plain old nylon brush. That's what it feels like. It's got too much spring to be a sable brush. So, and if it were sable or some other fine hair, they would definitely remark about it, because it would help add to the cost. But all in all, I would give this, out of 5 stars, I would probably give this about a 3.5. My reason being, the hinges are loose. They want to come out. There's too much strain on this. If I want to mix, I am going to tip it. I didn't do it in my hand. I probably should have. I could have tried that and then done it this way. It's a lot more stable if I have it in my hand. I'll give them credit for that. But, yeah, I don't know. When I'm painting out in the field, I hardly ever use a palette in my hand. I like to either sit on the ground or sit in a chair just because of my back. It is nice and compact. I will use it out in the field, but I'm just saying the colors are fine. The greens, the blues, the reds, everything works just fine. Like I said, the black and white, that's going to go in my palette over here just to hold on to them. And I took a couple half pans out of there to use for my purple and my Payne's gray. But well, there's more purple too. I wonder if it's the same color. Anyhow, so that's my first impression on that. Out of these two, this one, even if you went with the Cotman, this is professional, $82. This is empty pans, $23 right now, till December 31st, 2016. Then it's going to be going up to $30. I like the stability of this. I like the heavier plastic in this. I feel like it's made more secure. The hinges are better in this. This one feels too flimsy to me. The water carrier doesn't carry enough water. The brush, although it's a fine brush, it's about a size 3 and is only good for fine work. This thing only carries a couple ounces of water. These are too bendable. They're very bendy. And I feel like if I'm pushing on them, I'm putting strain on these hinges here, which I don't have a problem with in the other thing. It's nice to have the sponge, but not necessary because we always carry towel with us, right? Out of the two, If you were to buy one of these today, I would say get this one. I think you would like it better. It's more versatile. This one is just too much money for what you're getting, I think. $82 was ridiculous. And I only got 10 colors that I'll use. And although professional Winsor Newton professional colors are nice, I still think Daniel Smith has them beat. The price point is much lower on Daniel Smith than Winsor Newton professional colors. Their Cotman colors are student colors with high binder, and a lot of people use those, but for a student brand, they're great. But I got the professional one, so anyway, I think I'm repeating myself here, so that's my take on it, and I will put list both of these in the description box below, and you can pick and choose which one you like. But in my opinion, that portable painter is the way to go. It is much, much nicer, and I got a feeling this is going to go out in the field with me a lot more than this will. In fact, I may only use this a couple times. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's my review on that, and I will keep you posted as to how I like it. I have used this one again, and it was very nice, although, like I said, I feel some wiggle in the pans on this. But I tell you what, I didn't know what wiggle was until I used these. These were all over the place in this one. And I might add 3 more half pans in there in order to stabilize it and just take the sponge out. I thought these had a lot of play, but they really don't have that much play. You can hear a little clicking, but they're not too bad. They're just loose, and I like my paint to stay still. I think once it gets water underneath and paint dries, it's going to stick and adhere, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So everybody have a great day. I will talk to you soon. If I don't see you again before Christmas, then Merry Christmas to everyone, or Happy Hanukkah. I know Hanukkah starts on Christmas Eve this year, I think. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and I will hopefully get another video in before then, but take care. Bye-bye.